What's going on, heroes and villains? Welcome back to some more My Hero Academia Ultra Impact, and today we have a brand new character reveal, that being Present Mike, the best announcer in My Hero Academia. And he is a brand new character because this was actually not a playable character in the closed beta test. Now, you could probably say that he was seen in the closed beta because we did actually have a Present Mike as an enemy boss in the closed beta test, but he was not an obtainable unit that you could play with, right? So this is a brand new playable obtainable unit that we're going to be getting in My Hero Academia Ultra Impact. And it's so cool to see them giving love to all sorts of different types of characters, right? So very, very good and very, very awesome. Also, I do believe, just gonna say this right now, that this is an SR Present Mike, but we'll get into that in a little bit here in today's video and go over what he is all about. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys go down there, click that red subscribe button if you have not already, and also click that bell, turn on all notifications, that we don't miss out on any future videos, because we're gonna have the best guides, gameplay, showcases, summons, everything relating to My Hero Academia Ultra Impact right here on Hydros Impact. So make sure you guys do subscribe, turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on the best one-stop shop for the game when it does release on June 15th this year. So, Present Mike, definitely an interesting character. Let's go ahead and read what this tweet does say really quick. Playable character announced, Present Mike. Quirk is voice, and his mic performance improves the vibes plus ultra gauge of all allies. That is very interesting. So again, it doesn't mention if this is specifically a plus ultra move. It could be, or it could be an action skill that's an ability, right? That just does a passive increase to the plus ultra gauge. We do have a few characters that do have these types of abilities that does raise plus ultra gauge of all allies, or at least an ally. So that's not an entirely new concept to the game. There actually is a few, not off the top of my head that I can remember, but there are a few characters that actually do that. And that's actually very cool to see him, that he's, you know, he's an announcer, right? He's Present Mike. He announces his presence, and he's also an announcer for, you know, the anime and stuff like that too, announcing like everybody's quirks and stuff. So it makes sense that he does, you know, raise plus ultra. He's just gonna be out there going, "Let's go! Oh yeah, baby!" you know, raising the plus ultra gauge of allies is really cool, very useful. I don't know how useful it'll be because there are a few different characters, like I said, that do raise the gauge. So I don't know how good he will be just judging off of that. We don't know any stats. We don't know any other abilities, obviously. Again, this is most likely an SR Present Mike. Because of the fact that Present Mike's image here, if we look at it, this right here, this little screenshot image is just his stance. It's just his character in the game, in the battlefield, right? Not doing anything special. If we look at the UR ones that have been announced, let's go back and let's go to the My Hero Twitter real quick, and we kind of look at the announcements for previous ones. Look at Aizawa, right? This looks like a UR, but judging based off it, look at the attack animation they have right here in the tweet, in the screenshot of the game, right? So this is actually doing an attack. It's not just standing there. So let's kind of compare it to Shinzo. Shinzo is another model just standing there, just chilling, right? That's his model entering the battlefield probably, or something like that. But it's just his model. He's not doing an attack. He's not doing animation. He's just his model, just chilling. We go down even further. We have Kaminari. This is a confirmed SR, not an UR. This is a confirmed SR unit that was in the beta, so we do know that he is an SR. And he's also in his screenshot just chilling in there. He's not doing an attack. He's just doing a stance right there in the battlefield, right? So that makes me believe that SR units and lower are going to be having these basic screenshots of just their models in battle, right? And then if we go down even further, this is a confirmed UR All Might who's also doing a screenshot move, but he's also doing an attack in his screenshot. It's not just a standard stance or pose that the screenshot's holding. So this UR All Might most likely, I mean, obviously this is UR All Might, but this is most likely confirming that UR characters are going to have this special screenshot of their animation, while regular SR units like this one are just going to have their poses and stuff like that, not doing an attack. So that makes it very, very interesting. Also, you can kind of tell by the art, like there's a lot of arts in the game for different characters that this just looks SR-esque. I don't know. It doesn't really feel like a UR. It feels really basic. Doesn't feel too out there, right? So Present Mike definitely feels, and my gut is telling me this is an SR unit. Again, SR units aren't terrible, right? SR units definitely have their place in the game, and they do very well. Like there's a lot of very, very good SR units in My Hero Academia Ultra Impact that can actually benefit your team. But when we look at Present Mike, again, he only is whatever this ability is. I don't know if this is a plus ultra. If this is plus ultra gay, if this is like his plus ultra attack, then maybe. decently could be useful. Would like to see what his other action skills are, but judging based off of this, his this skill that he's doing that improves the vibes or increases plus ultra gauge of all allies, I assume increases plus ultra gauge by like 10%. That's probably how much you're going to get from it, a 10% gain to your plus ultra gauge for your allies or something like that. But yeah, this, just judging off of this, if this is like one of his skills or this is like the best that he's got in his kit, then it's not fantastic, it's not amazing, it's decent, it's all right. It's definitely a backup unit, if I would say, because in the game you can have your team of 3 characters and then you have 2 subunits that actually come in when your characters die. So he would maybe be decent as a subunit, most likely. Again, I would have to see his full kit to really judge it based on everything that I've seen and done in the beta to kind of judge it. But just judging based off of this, my experience with the beta so far, you're not really gonna need it too much. It could definitely come in handy, especially in long fights if you really need to get those plus ultras out really quickly. Present Mike probably will be a very beneficial character to your team, to where you can get that plus ultra gauge rush running up really quickly. Also, the cooldown, if this is an action skill, that means there's going to be a cooldown. So if it's like increasing plus ultra gauge by 10%, for example, I imagine the cooldown is going to be like 4 to 6 turns, roughly in between there. I would 4 at the very least, 6 at the very most. I don't see it going above 6, and I don't see it going below 4. So between 4 to 6 is probably the sweet spot for the cooldown time on something like this, if it's an action skill. If this is a plus ultra skill, well, you have to wait till you get the plus ultra attack anyway, and by the time you get Present Mike's plus ultra attack, unless he has an ability that increases his own quicker, then it's kind of like, why? It's kind of like, why? Because if you're raising his plus ultra to, if this is his plus ultra attack, which generally I would imagine they would mention that this is a plus ultra move that they're talking about, because they have done that before. But if this is a plus ultra attack, and they just forgot to mention it, right? If this is a plus ultra attack, then again, your allies are gonna get their plus ultras kind of at the same pace, and then you just have your plus ultra there. If you need it quicker, then you'll use his plus ultra to then get your second plus ultra for your other characters quicker. Again, unless he has a passive ability or an auto skill that increases his plus ultra attack by X% faster than any other allies, that way he gets his a little bit quicker, that way you can get the jump on getting yours quicker after activating his, then that makes sense. But judging based off of this being an SR, this is most likely an action skill. Again, I believe they would mention this being a plus ultra attack if it was a plus ultra move, but this is most likely an action skill based on my gut and my feeling of just everything here and my experience, right? So this is probably an action skill. Again, it's probably going to be like plus ultra, like I said, 10%, maybe 5%. I would say between 5 and 15%. 15% being the absolute maximum. I would not go higher than 15% with an SR probably. And then 10% being that kind of sweet spot. And then the cooldown, as I mentioned, being like 4 to 6 turns of a cooldown for the ability, right? So that's kind of how I'm going with it. Now, if we're going to go for Present Mike with super moves, again, he has Quirkus voice, and his super moves is loud voice. So he raises his voice to higher levels of releasing a shockwave enough to shatter glass and blow back anything in his way. And then he also has DJ punch, throws a strong right hook punch at his opponent. I imagine this might be his plus ultra. That'd be really cool. Just see him just throw a punch at the enemies, right? Just Present Mike going, yeah, just punching, right? That'd be pretty funny. Because I would imagine this loud voice move, I mean, this right here, this would be a UR probably move, right? I would imagine they would save this for a UR. But this, I imagine, maybe, I don't know, maybe it'll be different. Maybe they actually will give this to the SR and then they'll give this as an action skill, maybe, I don't know. But it's just, I don't know. If I had to list him in a tier, judging based off of this, I would say he is high B tier, maybe almost A. Again, he might make A tier if I could see his full kit and judge it based off of that. But right now, just basing off of this, because we don't really have a necessity for the plus ultra gauge stuff, but it's nice to have. Again, it really depends on his other kit, right? The rest of his kit, to know what use case this would have along with the rest of him. because I can't judge him just based off of one thing that he does, right? I can't just judge it based off of this fully. But if I had to list him just based from this one skill that he has, then I would say high B tier, because there is probably a use that you could find for the plus ultra gauge raise that would come in very handy, especially again for harder events. That way, you know, he might not take hits very well, but if you have long events that and you just get that plus ultra gauge rushing out, then you could definitely take that event down quicker with him giving plus ultra gauge really quickly, right? So that's kind of what that is. So let's also read his infograph here. I forgot to actually do that, so let's read that real quick. Let me go ahead and just roughly translate with Google Translate. Forgive me if it says anything wrong. So he's a pro hero who is a UA high school teacher, a radio DJ, and professional hero. The stagnation in the relationship between the same students. Okay, whatever. I don't know what that means. Either way, quirk is voice and that emits a tremendously loud voice. So I would imagine maybe he will have this plus ultra. Maybe this will be his plus ultra animation in the game. That means I would wonder what the UR one would have. That would be really interesting. If this is the SR's animation, what will the UR character have in terms of a plus ultra? Because then this move would turn into an action skill, just judging based off of other characters. When they make an SR, the SR's plus ultra becomes an action skill for a UR, right? So then what would be the UR's plus ultra animation? That would be really interesting. Really interesting. Again, we don't have really too much to work with. We have 2 super moves. That's kind of it. I don't imagine him being a very popular character. I mean, judging based off of this tweet alone, he definitely is not so popular. I mean, look at 500 tweets so far at the time that they tweeted this out at 11. And then Aizawa got 6,000 likes, and even Shinzo got 9,000, bro. Like, yeah, President Mike definitely is not a super popular character so far. Actually, let's kind of look at the replies. What are people saying? Is there a President Mike? Great delight. Cool. Okay. I guess someone's happy that there's a President Mike. Management is good. I guess they're, you know, again, they're showing love not just to the hype characters, but to the, you know, the lesser hype characters too. So that's really good that I do agree with them doing that. They're showing love to all different types of characters. So the next one that they do reveal, I assume is going to be a brand new character, judging based off the pattern. I do think I have figured out a slight pattern that they're doing with these reveals. So the next character should be a brand new character that isn't a beta character. Again, I could be wrong, but my gut is telling me that a brand new character should be the next reveal as well. But again, let me know your thoughts and opinions on President Mike in the comments down below. Do you guys think he's pretty decent? I mean, judging based off of this little information that we have so far with raising plus ultra gauge. I know it's not like super like, oh my God, he does what? He kills an enemy in one shot? Like what? No, he doesn't do anything like that, but he definitely could help you do that by raising your plus ultra gauge if you have very powerful allies, right? Again, could come in handy. I do think that he could be a decent sub unit. Like I said, if a character does die in your team, then I definitely do think that he probably might have a spot as a sub unit just for that fact. And plus, the plus ultra gauge raising is not a terrible thing. It's not awful an ability, but it's definitely not amazing either. So again, I think he'd be high B tier for me. I'm definitely hyped. I'm really hyped that they're, you know, again, showing love to all different types of characters is really awesome. So President Mike is finally coming to the game for My Hero Academia Ultra Impact. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.